It's something you may have known all along. Simple, yes, but its power? Truly remarkable. Rebuilding after losing a spouse. 7 gentle steps to heal, reflect, and begin again. There's something tender and true I want to say to you. You can rebuild after your spouse's death. Not just survive, not just function, but genuinely rebuild a life that feels meaningful again. And if you stay with me through this entire video, you'll receive something quietly powerful, a step-by-step guide to help you feel more connected, less alone, and maybe even hopeful again. You might already know some of what I'll share. It might even seem basic, but the results are out of this world. Because this isn't about getting over it. It's not about moving on. It's about moving forward with gentleness, courage, and a heart that still beats with purpose. In segments 17 and 18, I'll share the most effective method I've ever seen, something profoundly healing that too many people overlook. But for now, just breathe. You're here. You made it to this moment. That matters. So pour a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let me walk beside you. Let this video be a soft hand on your shoulder, the kind that says, you don't have to do this alone. Because the next chapter of your life still deserves to be beautiful. The early days of grief. After the funeral, after the casserole stopped coming, there's a silence that can feel unbearable. The house is quiet, but not peaceful. The routines you once shared, morning coffee, evening walks, small glances across the room, are suddenly gone. And with them, a part of you feels gone too. This is the part no one really prepares you for. The slow hours, the nights where the bed feels too big, the moments when you reach to tell them something and remember they're not there. And yet, this early pain, as sharp and hollow as it feels, is part of the rebuilding. It means love was present. It means the bond was real. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to perform strength. This is strength, sitting in the truth of it and still waking up the next day. Many seniors say this phase feels like floating, like time doesn't know how to move anymore. That's okay. Float for now. But hold this thought. Just as seasons change, so does this pain. Not all at once, but gradually you begin to breathe differently. And when that first breath comes without tears, that's a moment of quiet courage. Let that be enough for today. The importance of naming what you feel. One of the kindest things you can do for yourself is this: name what you feel. Not hide it, not push it down, not tell yourself you should feel something else. Give it a name. Sad, angry, numb, lonely, bitter, lost, relieved, confused, tired. All of it belongs. There is no perfect grief, no linear process. There is just your grief in your voice, moving at your pace. Naming emotions helps bring light into the shadowy places. It helps you feel less like you're unraveling and more like you're observing. It gives your heart a language to speak. You might even try writing it down, just a few words each morning. Today I feel, not to fix anything, not to analyze, just to see yourself clearly. Because the truth is, healing begins with honesty. Some people fear that if they let themselves feel the full depth of sorrow, they'll never stop crying. But tears are not weakness. Tears are evidence of love. And sometimes saying out loud, "I miss you, I'm lost without you," is what opens the door to beginning again. So if you're watching this and something stirred inside you, type 1 in the comments. That simple act can be your first small step toward healing. Relearning daily routines. One of the most disorienting parts of grief is how even the smallest routines fall apart. The coffee you once shared feels bitter. Dinner for one seems pointless. Nights feel too quiet. But slowly, piece by piece, you can begin to relearn daily life. Not to erase what was, but to honor it while living forward. Try starting with one thing, one small ritual you can reclaim. Maybe it's sitting by the window with your morning tea. Maybe it's putting on music while you cook. Maybe it's simply getting dressed, even if no one else will see you. These actions might feel empty at first, but repetition has power. It tells your brain, "I'm still here. Life is still here." Creating a gentle routine gives your body something to follow, even when your heart feels lost. It gives structure to your time and slowly opens space for healing. You might even write a new routine down on paper. Not a list of chores, just a guide, a rhythm, a way of saying, "I choose to be part of today." Each moment you participate in life again, even just brushing your hair or opening a window, is a quiet, powerful act of rebuilding. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. When guilt creeps in, you may not expect it, but guilt often visits in grief. Guilt for laughing, guilt for enjoying something, even guilt for simply surviving. You may find yourself thinking, if I'm smiling, am I forgetting them? Or how can I move on when they're gone? But here's the truth. Your joy does not erase your love. Living is not betrayal. It is a continuation of the bond, just in a new form. Think of it this way. If your spouse could speak to you now, wouldn't they want you to find peace again? To laugh without guilt? To remember them with love, not shame? Guilt is sneaky. It tries to dress itself as loyalty, but real loyalty, the kind born from love, wants you to thrive. You are not leaving them behind. You are carrying them forward. One simple way to manage guilt: when joy surprises you, pause and say quietly, "Thank you. I know you're with me in this moment." Speak to their memory. Let it live beside your healing, not instead of it. You're allowed to feel good again. You're allowed to rebuild. Love didn't die. A chapter closed, and you are turning the page. Talking to others who don't understand. Some people, even those close to you, won't know what to say. They may try to cheer you up too quickly, or tell you to move on, or worse, avoid you altogether. This can be deeply painful. You might feel invisible in your grief, like the world has turned the page before you were ready. But here's something to hold on to. Not everyone has the capacity to sit with grief, but that's not a reflection of you. You are not too much. Your sorrow is not a burden. It's a natural, human response to deep love. Sometimes it helps to gently teach people how to support you. You might say, "I don't need fixing. I just need you to sit with me." Or, "Please don't try to cheer me up today. Just listen." The right people, even if it's only one or two, will meet you where you are. And if no one around you understands, you are not alone. Thousands of others, especially seniors, are walking this same path. Support groups, online communities, even YouTube comments like this one, they exist so you don't have to carry this by yourself. If you've ever felt misunderstood in grief, let others know by typing 1 below. You never know who needs to see that today. Finding symbols that speak to you. Healing isn't always found in words. Sometimes it's found in symbols. Small, sacred things that remind you of your love. Maybe it's a photo, a song, a bird that lands outside your window, a pair of shoes left in the hallway, a handwritten note you still keep in your drawer. These aren't just memories. They are invitations, reminders that love leaves traces, and those traces can comfort us. Some widows and widowers find healing in lighting a candle each morning. Others keep a journal, addressing their spouse as if writing a letter. Some wear a piece of their partner's jewelry. You might even create a memory corner in your home, not as a shrine to sadness, but as a gentle space to feel connected. Grief doesn't always ask for answers. Sometimes it just asks to be seen, felt, acknowledged. Symbols help us do that. They bypass the thinking brain and go straight to the heart. So if there's something, anything that makes you feel close to your loved one, honor it. Don't question it. What feels sacred to you is sacred enough. And healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning how to carry the love differently, how nature helps the heart. When everything inside you feels stormy or still, nature has a way of meeting you where you are. There's something deeply healing about the sound of wind through trees, the rhythm of ocean waves, the steady glow of sunlight on your skin. After loss, many people say they feel pulled toward the outdoors. It's no coincidence. Nature offers quiet companionship, a way of reminding us that life still moves, still breathes. Even if it's just stepping outside your front door and sitting in a chair, watching birds, noticing flowers bloom, letting the breeze touch your face. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real. There's a tree in my neighborhood that changes color a little later than the others. Every year, I wait for it. And when it finally turns, I think of those I've lost and how beautiful it is that life takes its time. Let nature be part of your healing. Walk slowly. Breathe deeply. Let the world's quiet beauty soothe the ache inside. Because when you feel connected to something larger than yourself, a forest, a river, the stars, grief doesn't feel quite so lonely. Sometimes the earth itself can hold what your heart cannot. Rediscovering old interests. After a loss, it's easy to forget the parts of yourself that existed outside the relationship. You may think, "What's the point?" Or, "That was our thing, not mine."
But buried beneath grief are pieces of joy waiting to be uncovered, even if they come slowly. Think back. Was there something you once loved? Painting, gardening, dancing in the kitchen, reading books late into the night? Grief can make the world feel gray, but rediscovering a passion or gently exploring a new one invites color back into your life. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to let yourself enjoy something again. It's not selfish. It's soul work. You're not replacing anyone. You're reconnecting with you. Start small. Maybe it's planting one flower, listening to an old song, visiting the library, holding a paintbrush for the first time in years. You're allowed to feel curious again. You're allowed to be surprised by joy. These small sparks of interest become the lanterns that light the path ahead. And in the process, you'll find not just healing, but a deeper sense of self you may have forgotten was still there. You're still here, and that matters more than you know. Reaching out without apology. Sometimes grief convinces us that we should retreat, that we shouldn't burden others, that people are too busy, that no one really wants to hear about our sadness. But isolation, though understandable, can make healing harder. There is strength in reaching out, even if it's just to say, I could use a little company today. You don't need to explain your emotions fully. You don't need to always be upbeat. You just need to be honest. Call the friend. Send the message. Join the community group, even if your voice shakes when you introduce yourself. If someone invites you to coffee or lunch, try saying yes. Not because you feel perfect, but because you're open to being present. We are social beings. Connection doesn't erase grief, but it can soften the edges. And sometimes the person you reach out to is also quietly grieving something. Your courage might unlock their healing too. If reaching out feels too hard today, start by typing 1 in the comments. It's a signal, a whisper. I'm still here. No one heals alone. And you don't have to prove anything to be worthy of love, attention, or support. Rebuilding doesn't mean doing it all yourself. It means accepting hands when they're extended. Let them reach you.
Moving the body, soothing the heart. Grief doesn't just live in the mind. It settles in the body. You might feel tension in your shoulders, heaviness in your chest, a general sense of fatigue. This is normal and deeply human. One of the most overlooked parts of healing is gentle movement. It doesn't need to be exercise. It can be stretching your arms as you breathe, a slow walk around the block, rocking in your favorite chair while listening to music. When you move the body, you give grief a way to shift. It doesn't erase sorrow, but it helps you carry it differently. Movement also invites the present moment back in. You notice the breeze, the rhythm of your feet, the beating of your heart. Still strong, still steady. Some people find comfort in gardening, others in dancing, yoga, or simply swaying to a familiar tune in their kitchen. What matters most is that it feels kind, not forced. Let your body be part of your healing. Let it stretch. Let it rest. Let it move, even just a little. You're not broken, you're grieving, and your body deserves tenderness too. Each small step, literally, is a quiet affirmation. I'm still here. I'm still part of life. And that's more than enough. Letting go of should. There's a voice that sneaks in when you're grieving. It says, you should be over this by now. You should be stronger. You should be doing more. But grief has no clock, no straight line, and definitely no rule book. Every time you hear that inner critic whisper should, try replacing it with what is. Instead of I should be better by now, try I am doing the best I can today. Instead of I should be stronger, try I am strong for simply showing up. That shift from pressure to presence changes everything. You're not failing because you cried today, or because you needed rest, or because the song made you crumble. You're grieving, and grieving is sacred. Letting go of should is not the same as giving up. It's giving grace to yourself, to your process, to your healing. You are exactly where you need to be, not because it feels good, but because it's real. And real is where healing begins. So if should has been weighing on you, release it now. Say aloud, I am allowed to feel this, because you are. And that permission, it opens the door to peace, more than you realize. A letter they'll never read, but you'll always feel. Writing a letter to your late spouse might sound simple, even odd, but it's one of the most healing acts you can do. Put pen to paper and write as if they were still here. Tell them what you miss, what made you laugh, what you regret, what you're proud of, what you wish they could see you doing today. You don't have to share it with anyone. You don't even have to read it aloud. Just write. Let the emotions fall onto the page. This letter is not about closure, because grief doesn't close. It transforms. The moment you write that letter, you reconnect, not with the past, but with the love that shaped your life. And love, as you know better than most, doesn't vanish. It echoes. Some people place the letter by a photo. Some read it under the stars. Others keep it folded in a drawer for quiet days. Wherever you keep it, it becomes a reminder you loved deeply, and you still can. Even in loss, your voice still matters. Your story continues. And sometimes the next chapter begins with a letter they'll never read, but you'll always feel. Reclaiming quiet moments. The house is quieter now. The meals, the mornings, the evenings, they all carry a silence that's hard to describe. At first, it may feel unbearable, like the walls echo with absence. But over time, something remarkable can happen. You begin to reclaim that quiet, not as a void, but as space for you. You start lighting the candle before breakfast. You sip your tea and look out the window, not for distraction, but for stillness. You read a chapter of a book slowly with no rush. You hum a song just for yourself. These are not small things. They're acts of self-presence. Rebuilding life after loss isn't always about big milestones. Sometimes it's about creating gentle rituals within the silence, ones that soothe, not sting. What if the quiet could become a soft place instead of a hollow one? Reclaiming quiet moments is not about forgetting. It's about allowing peace to rise beside the pain. Try it tomorrow. One moment of quiet that feels intentional. A breath. A blessing. A whispered thank you. In those spaces, you may find not just healing, but wholeness. Letting others love you. You've likely spent a lifetime caring for others, being strong, showing up. But one of the bravest things you can do after loss is to let others love you. Not because you're weak, not because you can't do it alone, but because love, in all its forms, helps us rebuild. It might be the neighbor who brings soup, the friend who sits beside you without needing to fix anything, the grandchild who holds your hand without words. Say yes to those moments. Don't shrink back. When you let others show up, you remind them that love doesn't end with death. It continues in new shapes. You're not a burden. You're a blessing in someone else's life, and your openness allows others to be brave too. If someone offers help, take it. If someone wants to listen, let them. And if someone says your name with kindness, receive it. Grief isolates, but love reconnects. You've loved deeply. You've lost deeply. Now, let yourself be loved deeply. This too is healing. A room you can reclaim. There may be a room in your home that holds too much memory. Their favorite chair, their side of the closet, their scent still on the pillow. For a while, just entering that space might have been too painful. That's okay. You've been protecting your heart. But now, maybe. It's time to gently begin reclaiming that space. You don't need to redecorate overnight. Maybe you place a plant in the window. Maybe you move the chair to a different spot. Maybe you sit there again, not in sorrow, but in reverence. Reclaiming a room doesn't mean erasing them. It means honoring your need to live fully, right here, right now. This space can become a sanctuary for you, a place where memories and new moments coexist. Some people place photos in a frame with a quote. Others light a small candle each evening. Some create an altar of sorts, not religious, but soulful. However you do it, make it yours. You are not abandoning the past. You are saying, I'm still living. And that is one of the most powerful declarations of love. The home you shared can now carry your continued story. One breath, one room, one heartbeat at a time.
The most powerful practice, the morning minute. If there's one practice that quietly transforms everything, it's this, the morning minute. Just 60 seconds every morning. No matter how you slept, no matter what you feel, you sit, you breathe, and you whisper one truth. I'm still here. Then you name 3 things. One thing you miss, one thing you're grateful for, one thing you'll do today, just for you. It might be, I miss your laugh. I'm grateful for the sun. I'll take a walk. That's it. That's the practice. Why does it matter? Because the morning minute roots you in now. It honors the pain, the beauty, the hope, all at once. It doesn't try to fix grief. It gives it space to breathe. And over time, that space becomes strength. You might already know it. It might even seem basic, but the results, they're out of this world. People who practice it say it helps them cry less, smile more, and feel closer to the one they lost. Try it tomorrow and the day after, and see what unfolds. The morning minute, one breath, one truth, one moment of courage to begin again. The legacy ritual, your strongest anchor. There's one more practice, perhaps the most powerful of all. It's called the legacy ritual. Once a week, maybe Sunday morning, maybe Thursday at dusk, you create a quiet moment to honor how their love still lives through you. It doesn't require candles or ceremonies unless you want them. It simply asks this: what would they want you to remember today? How would they want you to live this week? Maybe you write a line in a journal. You'd be proud of me for calling our granddaughter today. Maybe you prepare their favorite dish and eat it slowly, gratefully. Maybe you help someone else, just like they used to. This is not about clinging to the past. It's about carrying forward the best of what you shared. You become the living legacy, the proof that love doesn't end. Some light a candle before the ritual. Others speak aloud into the quiet. Whatever shape it takes, it becomes a weekly bridge between memory and movement. This is how we rebuild. By remembering with purpose, by acting with love, by living as the continuation of something beautiful. The legacy ritual doesn't just heal, it gives your days meaning again. That's still yours. Is this the part no one talks about? After the casseroles stop, after the cards fade, after the silence settles in, there comes a day when you realize this chapter, it's still yours, not theirs, not ours, yours. And it's not about moving on. It's about moving with their memory in your bones, their love in your breath. What will you write in this new chapter? Maybe it's a garden, a trip you once postponed, a friendship you never had time for. Maybe it's starting something you always thought was too late to try. You're not too late. You're not too broken. And you're not alone. There's a future that still wants you in it. So if this video touched your heart, type 2 in the comments. And if you want to walk this journey with us through healing, through hope, through honest conversation, hit subscribe, like, and share this with someone who might need it. Because rebuilding isn't just about rising from loss. It's about becoming more deeply, beautifully you. This chapter begins with one small truth. You might already know it. It might even seem basic, but the results are out of this world. You are still here. And that matters more than you know.